From my side, I want to thank you for the opportunity of chatting informally on a topic which is very current and regards everyone's future. Thank you, Green Future Auto Magazine. Thank you, José. Let's start by giving a glance to the partition of the Chinese society. China has one of the most uneven distribution of wealth in the world. Millionaires, although in the neighborhood of 100 million, are still a tiny percentage when compared to the total population of the country. This richness is new money, created in the last few decades from trade and manufacturing and held by a middle class, young and dynamic. The richness is concentrated in peculiar geographical areas, big urban clusters, many in the coastal regions, less in the inland. The middle class is driving the innovation in the country and setting the trend of the taste. They are fascinated by the state-of-the-art of technology, and their mind is projected into the future. Traditional advertising media are not catching them too much. More effective are social channels and key opinion leaders. Different is the situation in Europe, where the richness is evenly spread geographically and over the total population. This results in a middle class that relies on older money. The general state of mind of this wide middle class was, at the beginning, something more reluctant to embrace the electric car revolution because of a more traditional mindset. But now it's changing, and facts are here to tell. The sales of electric or hybrid cars in Europe are growing faster than ever. And anyone in Europe that is considering to buy a new car will also consider to buy an electric one. Just few more words about sustainability and renewable energies. Until some years ago, the environmental awareness in China was close to zero. This allowed China to produce at widely competitive prices compared to other countries. At this regard, it must be said that nobody is without sin. The producer, who makes money at the expense of the environment, nor the consumer, who enjoys the cheap price. But today, everything has changed. The Chinese middle class has developed a strongly rooted respect of the environment. For the sake of the future generations, food traceability, quality of air, respect of the soil and of the waters have become of primary importance. All this, of course, contributes to the growth of the green mobility. China has a control system over the population highly efficient and inconceivable to the European mentality, as it would be taken as a threat of the individual freedom. Nevertheless, Chinese people accept this control as the guarantee of the best functioning of the country. In time of pandemic, this is an extraordinary weapon to limit the outbreak of the infection. Seen from this point of view, China can manage the pandemic more efficiently than Europe, and its effort to reduce pollution will not be so impacted. But this is true until a certain extent. If Europe is badly impacted by the pandemic, who will China sell its product to in the short run? And if China reduces its export, how will this impact the domestic investments? This is one consequence of the globalization. Electric mobility is a road with no return for both China and Europe. As the environmental consciousness grows, the battery autonomy becomes longer and the time of recharge shortens. New solutions of battery swap are currently being studied, the so-called BaaS, Battery as a Service. One thing that there is not much talk about yet is the environmental impact of the production of the new batteries and the disposal of the exhausted ones. This aspect is essential to close the environmental balance. Beside the fuel cost, which is not on top of the worries for the Bentley owner, 2 points set the electric cars a category apart. The first is performance. Electric powered cars provide an exhilarating acceleration that is unreachable for a traditional engine car of the same category. This is because of the moment of inertia at play in a traditional engine, something that is completely missing in an electric car. Tesla Model S goes 0-100 km/h in 2.5 seconds. It is breathtaking. The other is quietness. This reminds me an old campaign of the 60s for the new coming Bentley. It ran more or less as follows. At 60 miles per hour, the loudest noise that you can hear comes from the electric clock. Well, when Bentley will shift to fully electric, and it will, I tell you, engineers in crew will face a hell of a problem with the electric clock. Any electric clock will be far too noisy. The transition of Bentley, like of any other luxury car brand, to fully electric is unavoidable. It leverages performance and comfort, both synonymous of luxurious driving. It just takes a bit longer. The Bentley owner is a traditionalist rather than an innovative consumer. You know, I am biased with Bentley. I like to drive any sort of cars just to compare them with Bentley and have Bentley win. B-Planet is a remarkable definition. I must say I love it. The idea of stamping a footstep on Mars is exciting. But let me take us down to Earth, or if you prefer, down to Mars. Let's make it clear about the real proportion of the distances in the space. Should the Earth be as big as a grain of sand, the Sun would be an apple placed 12 meters away. The same distance is between Earth and Mars when the reciprocal position is convenient for the journey. Would you expect this proportion? I guess not. Because school books, since we were children, show misleading representations of the solar system for printing reasons. This is just to remind us how big our distances in the space. One of the most brilliant and visionary minds of our time, the serial innovator Elon Musk, he's taking up the challenge with a time horizon of 10 years. Sure, he knows that many obstacles are in between. Among others, the journey can last a couple of months with a heavy load of fuel, or 1 year with less fuel. But 1 year means to feed the crew for longer. This is why researchers are studying lethargy and its consequences on the humans. But on a different scale, this is the challenge that Cristoforo Colombo and other colleagues of his faced 6 centuries ago. Exploration of new worlds is the kind of challenge that, whatever it takes, humans never escape from. Thanks for the attention you reserved to this chat.